Sasaki has signed with the Los Angeles Dodgers on a minor league contract as he was an international free agent from the amateur pool, meaning he was subject to international signing pool money, things of that nature. He failed to have the requisite 7 years of professional experience before being an international free agent. He was posted through the Japanese posting system, and because of that, he was limited. He got, I think, the entirety or all but like a couple $100 of the Dodgers international bonus pool money, and some teams were saying it's collusion. There was collusion, and according to Bob Nightingale, he sees that Major League Baseball already investigated this and found no collusion. I don't know how, considering it happened less than 48 hours ago. I think at this point, 30 hours ago. So what? What do you mean there was no collusion? How could you have investigated that, Major League Baseball, Rob Manfred? And yeah. Now, this does mean that the Dodgers have essentially the best rotation in baseball. The Mariners tried to get Sasaki, but once they realized they were out, made a whole bunch of signings in the international amateur free agent pool. If you remember, the Mariners have often been a destination for international free agents. Of course, we've had Ichiro Suzuki back in 2001, and then Julio Rodriguez was an international amateur free agent signing a couple years ago, made it up recently, had his third season. Had a slump, but definitely is the star of that Mariners team. Sasaki's contract is a minor league contract just due to the fact that he could not sign a major league contract. Um, he is on the standard contract too if he makes it to the major leagues. I am assuming he makes it to the major leagues. I'm looking at the stats in Japan for him. He had a whip of .96, .8, .75, and 1.04 in the in his age 19, 20, 21, and 22 seasons. He's coming over for his age 32 season. He played 67 games and pitched about 300 innings. Had a record above 500 and did really well. His highest ERA was 2.35 and his lowest was 1.84. Um, I think that's a pretty good player, and apparently he Oh, he did. He struck out 19 in a perfect game. That's right, he did. Roki Sasaki, perfect game. Nobody's ever thrown a perfect game in both NPB and MLB. This was April 10th, 2022. He was of the Chibalata Marines of NPB. And it was against the Oryx Buffaloes. It was the 16th perfect game, single game record of in NPB of 19 strikeouts. And 13 of them were consecutive 3, 6, 9, 12. That's 4 1/3 innings without anybody getting back to ball in play in a way that was meaningful other than fouling out or foul lines, but not fouling out. I think this is overall changing the narrative that the evil empire is the Yankees to now the evil empire is the Dodgers. I know that baseball players have said they will never agree to a salary cap, and it's because of the way that salary hard works. And your first 3 years, you make league minimum essentially, and then you have 3 years where you and the team can go on arbitration, and then you argue about why you should be paid X or Y, and one of those numbers is what you get paid. The team's always lower than what that. Sometimes you agree on it, and blah blah blah. And then you go to free agency where you can get that 10 years, $700 million contract. You go and you get that 10 years, 765 or 14 years, $765 million contract or whatever it is that Juan Soto signed for with the Mets. And like those, you have less low level guys in baseball that have short careers that only get those first 3 years than in the NFL in the union. Whereas in the NFL, the union is mostly just guys who are there for a year or two. So they're going to be like, if we have a cap and all of that, they always do what's best for the guy making the least amount of money. Like, oh, we'll do 18 games if it means we can smoke weed. We'll do 17 games if it means that the league minimum hits a million, which it'll hit a million in the NFL in 2 years, and I think it'll hit a million in MLB soon. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't looked at it. But I think not only does there need to be a salary cap, there needs to be a salary floor. Otani makes 70 million a year if you don't if you don't in, talk about deferrals. 46 million as the NPV of that contract. I don't think the Florida Marlins have a payroll of $46 million. I'm actually going to go look right now because I don't think that the Marlins have that. Marlins payroll table for 2025 is 42,800,000, and they're projected to have 58 million. They're projected to have 58 million next year in total contracts. That's and that's from ARB, and that's not good. The Rays too. I think the Rays too. Tampa Bay Rays. What's their The Rays are at 61, 68 million, 74 million. Okay. The Mariners are at like 100 something, which is mid-level. But if you have a salary floor, so much better there. But you're not going to agree to a salary floor unless there's a salary cap. Because the salary floor just money. Salary cap says nobody can spend more than this. And I don't think the players will ever agree to that. And I don't know if the owners of the Dodgers, Yankees, and I know owners like Seattle, Miami, Tampa Bay, apparently the White Sox and the Cubs want that. So if y'all could like figure something out to make baseball more competitive through the financial side, that might save a lot of the struggles we're seeing with viewership. The other thing we need obviously is to talk about the whole fact that there's um, often difficulties in accessing the games. For example, where I live, I'm a Mariners fan, but I don't live in Seattle. Where I live, if I want to watch the Mariners play the Yankees, the Pirates, the Mets, or the Guardians, I can't. Thankfully, that's only about 12. That's seven against the Yankees, seven against the Guardians. That's 14, and then six against the other two. That's 20 out of 162 games. That's what is that, like 14%? That's 13% of the season I can't watch on MLB TV. Thankfully, I have access to SM, the Yes Network, and sometimes those games are on national TV or on Apple or something like that. But let me watch all my games and do something about the salary cap. All right, everybody, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and you can follow me on Patreon for $1 a month. And Mariners recap videos will be published 12 to 14 hours before they'll be published on YouTube on there. You'll also have some access to things that I write, plus some blog posts. I might use it as a website, and you can book me on Cameo. You can follow me on Instagram, and well as Blue Sky at Sammy5436. Thank you for watching.